Hello, everyone. Whoa, puberty. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, back into our game of War in the East 2 by Gary Grigsby. This is our Let's Play against the Soviet AI. Welcome. It's a very special 3-day weekend edition of the Dojo. And we're going to try to get a long way today. We'll see how far we can go. I don't want to overpromise. That's been done before. I don't want to become cliche. So let's not overpromise. Let's overdeliver. How about that for once? What's up, Nordhammer? How are you? Kalo, Malcolm Hunt, Sydney Hull. We need a little more rain to get those 6,000 men divisions out. That is true. Um, Kalo, well, usually, 1100. I don't know where you are, Kalo. I think you're in Arizona potentially, but I don't know if you're Pacific or if you're Mountain Time Zone. It is 11 a.m. in beautiful sunny Southern California. I can tell you that. And usually I try to do it at 10. I was a little late to the uptake today. Slept in a little bit for the 3-day weekend. Um, I think it's Friday. I hope it is. That's what my boss told me. Let's hope it is. Hey, Salty, what's going on? David Bartel is here. McCall is here. Mr. AMMW. All right. Great crew for a weekday, even if it's probably a holiday for most. Let's get to cooking. Let's do it. And we'll start right down here in the south. This is where we were, right down by Odessa. We've moved a few divisions in here, including this one right here, but let's check out the 34th Corps. And the 34th Corps, now we've got something new here. We finally got a new division over here, but we've got two of them. And right when I clicked off yesterday, I realized, wait a minute, we don't need both of these guys here. Well, maybe we do, but we can't afford to anyway. And instead, I want to take some Romanians and the field division and who knows what else, but I didn't know exactly where to put it just yet. Now, we have a really decent division here, the 61st ID, but we have a Luftwaffe field division, which I know I'll get out of here. I just had it up here for the manpower, and I think I'll probably just set it back here on its headquarters and put it on reserve. If somebody needs a few extra men, wonderful. We've got them. 3,500 of them, as a matter of fact. So I'll just put that on reserve there. Okay, and then move down the line and see where else we will need a division. We're looking actually not terrible here. 15,000. We've got this mountain division with 12,000. We've got 61st ID with almost 15,000. Yes, I know I should also look at the TOEs, but I feel okay about the TOEs. I think some of these Romanian division, or some of them, this Romanian division or two, I may just set back here and put them on reserve. And then move this German division over. But let's do that first. Now I moved that one. I didn't want to. He's got only 13 combat prep points. He's only been here for a turn. I'm actually going to take this 167th ID and stack it there. Okay. Now we've got another brand, rebuilt German division, I should say. 30th Corps. So let's put him in 30th Corps. I do think this is going to put 6th Army over, but I think we can deal with that. 6th Army is now at 33 of 30, so we're going to have to move something over to another army command, but that's okay. And then I think these Romanian divisions, I think maybe I set one here in the swamp. Let's see what defense we're throwing up. 39. This division is giving us 10. This one 12. The new German division 17, but that will only grow. We could also take this Hungarian armor and maybe kind of move it out and over here. I think we can get away with that. That's giving us 17. The German division that got here, but it's only got 8 combat prep. It's going to build. It's at 27. We want it to be over 30 if we can get it there. So I do think we'll take the weaker of the two Romanians and put them in the swamp right there. That is a swamp, correct? Yes. Okay, and we'll put that on reserve. And then the other one, well, I'm going to let it sit there for a turn. We're at 29, but like I said, that German division will build. So we're getting 27 from the Germans, 17 from the armor there. I think this armor could be better put to use, out in this area. Uh, he's a long ways away from other Hungarians, I'll say that. For now, I think I'll put it here on top of this command, and I'll just put it on reserve for now. For now. Now, that does take us down to a 27, but that will build. We could also put this Romanian division up there if we want to, but level 3 fort, that all looks pretty good to me. 30th is now up to 10 of 10. He's at 9 of, I say he, 34th Corps at 9 of 10. 30th is under Breath, fine. Then we come to this little area, and we've got, as I said, the aforementioned 5th Mountain is sitting here. We've also got the 183rd. They're both in level 3 forts. This will build. It's only showing an 18 now because he's got 39 combat prep points, but it is a clear hex. We maybe want to just put this field division up here just to give him a few more men. I mean, it's not adding a whole lot, but we may as well. It takes it to a 29. That looks better, you know. I mean, the field division gives it 11 in a level 3 fort. I'll take it. The Hungarians are there. Okay, and then we move up into 4th Corps. We've got 14,000 men there behind a river in a level 3 fort. Perfect. All right. I mean, it's a clear hex, but we're behind the Dniester. We've got a good division here, the 30th. That all looks fine. Not as good a one here, 9,800 men, but let's see if we need it someplace else. And we probably, when I say it, this, new division that we brought in here, and it looks like we need to put it right there. Uh, he's only at 6 of 10. Now, the problem is, though, we're overstacking 6th Army, so we need to get something into another army. How are we looking for the Panzer? 4th Panzer Army under Rommel. He's an 8 on both, so he could take infantry. What was he again? 11 of 30. Why? Oh, why is he? Oh, I see. Never mind. 4th Panzer Army is going to OKH. I mean, it's getting command there, but we may as well have it down into Army Group South or Army Group. Yeah, that should go to Army Group South. I don't know how I missed that before. That should be an Army Group South. Okay. Well, it was missing a level of command there for a little bit, but luckily we weren't getting attacked. Our Army Group South's well within its range, so that's fine. And then I think because of this 11 of 30, we could actually take Hasse here and give that to 4th Panzer. Now, I don't love doing that, but that takes the pressure off 6th Army. And we could take this division and also put it here into the 4th Corps. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this into 4th Corps. And then I'm going to give all of this to 4th Panzer. Okay. I think that works from a numbers perspective. 4th Panzer Army, yep, that works. All right. So we'll remember, purple is now in 4th Panzer. I'm not going to change the color. I know you guys love when I do that, but I'm not going to do it this time. All right, let's get him right up here on the line. And that looks good. Is there somebody I want to keep here? Yeah, I guess I'll keep the 79th. The 75th with 6,000 men, I'm going to back him up. Well, let's see what his TOE is. 45. What's your TOE? 47. I mean, neither one of them are looking great. These Romanians look strong. Excuse me, my goodness, what is going on? For a man that lives by his voice box, I'm having problems. Mountain time zone, Kalo. Yeah, that would make you at 1200 hours. Hey, CJ, what's going on? I'm getting the Hungarian armored out, CJ. Uh, I have not found a Finnish person to hug yet. I'm hoping it's a beautiful female. Whoa, wait a minute. I shouldn't say that. Um, no, I haven't found any Finns to hug yet, but I hope to. I hope to, and I hope it's not a big bearded burly Viking. Uh, indeed. Okay. Well then, so he's now at 8 of 10. That's fine. I'm going to make Kalo mad, and I'm going to back this out. I'm going to send it to the reserves. He and I had a spirited debate on the comments. Well, I don't know if it was so spirited. I just said I don't agree. I thought I'd keep it simple. We could get into it sometime. I don't know that we have to. I mean, I think there are good arguments on both sides. I do think taking it back to the reserves maybe makes it more. I don't want to say under my control, but I can cycle them in and out of there at a speed where I know it's going to happen. Whereas if they're out on the map, you don't know how much they're going to rebuild or if they're going to rebuild. And if men are coming in by the rail to so the basic debate, sorry, I should back off. Kalo made a very fair point that said instead of sending things to the reserves and cycling them out, why not just leave everything on the map so the reserves aren't soaking up all of the new men and material that are going into units. uh, and leave them all on the map and let them rebuild out there. That way they're building fort levels, they're in an area where if there is a breakthrough they could deal with it. And I do understand that, and I do think that that's valid if we were worried about attacks right now. But we're not worried about, or we haven't been worried about attacks. I think in a couple of turns, once the rain clears, I think that makes a lot more sense to keep everything on the map, even when it's rebuilding. Uh, a couple of advantages going to the reserves. I feel like I'm more in control of it that way. I'm not expecting an attack, so building fort levels behind the line or keeping things on the map to deal with breakthroughs isn't as big of a concern. I also, and the reserves, they build morale to the extent that they would be under the national morale, and not many of our units are, but it is a consideration if you're kind of going between the two ideas. I guess when it comes down to it, I just feel like it's more under my control when I'm sending them back to the reserves because we're on this kind of very steady progression where we're rebuilding about 5 divisions every time. And so that's why I've been doing it and I prefer to do it that way. I'm not saying it's the necessarily right or Kalo's wrong. I'm not saying that. I think you could do it either way. I just feel like when they're out on the map, it gets dispersed more, obviously. And so you have divisions that instead of getting to 14,000 men, maybe only get to 11,500. And you're caught into that in between of are they strong enough to throw them up on the front lines or are they not? Now, it would rebuild some of the things that get treated down because we're not soaking it all up in the reserves. But anyway, that's just kind of my thinking on it. Again, is there a right answer? I mean, I guess you could, get a spreadsheet out and figure out what would be more efficient. But ultimately, I like to have the control of when things are coming in or going out of the reserves, at least for these turns where I don't think we're getting attacked. Once we do start getting to a position where we are going to get attacked, then I certainly think your idea has a lot more merit then because we need everything out on the map we can get, right? I mean, we're going to have to, maybe cover breakthroughs or things need to just rebuild out there because we don't won't have enough units to cover the line or something. All right, enough of that. I think that's it. I think that's all I really had to move down here this time, unless you guys tell me something else. I think we'll fly some freight over and we'll go ahead and turn this turn anyway. Let's go to F9. And I'll do this while you guys think of something. Have I forgot about something? Did I not move something? Maybe I didn't. As a matter of fact, now I'm thinking we've got this back at Lublin, and I've got these divisions. Oh, yeah, I mean, those divisions. All right, let's go ahead and fly our freight, and then I'll come back to those. For some reason, I had thought that I had done that, but I didn't. 100 transport planes go out. They deliver 150 tons. This has really worked well against a human player. I don't believe it would because obviously a human would bring in fighters here and just shoot down anything that you were trying to get out here. There's no reason the Soviets, with the number of planes that they have, shouldn't completely establish air superiority out here, but the AI hasn't done it. So, okay, I'll take advantage of it. Salty Dodger, when are we going to have some merch? You know what? My wife and I, this is probably too long of a story, but we go to this great Mexican place on Taco Tuesday, and right next to the Mexican place on Taco Tuesdays is a place that makes hats and shirts with your logo. And every damn time I walk by there, I say, we got to get over here and put the little dojo guy on a shirt or on some hats. And then I don't do it. Um, I've got to do that. I've got to do that, especially if you want to buy one, Salty. I want you out walking around sporting a little ninja either on your chest or on your head. So I will get those made, and I'll just sell them for cost. I'm not trying to make any money off of them. So yeah, so it'll probably be like 20 bucks or 25 bucks, something like that. Whatever it costs to have me to get them made. But I'll do that next time we go to the little Mexican restaurant. Uh, You're like, boy, that took a weird turn. We're talking about Taco Tuesday all of a sudden. Well, I always like to talk about Taco Tuesday, as many of you know. Okay, let's figure out where we want to put this stuff then. We've got an SS motorized here, and I'm really liking how, things are setting up. Is it perfect? Far from it. I mean, we've got every other hex. That's the only thing that's keeping us afloat down in this area. We probably do need to get more infantry right in this area. I'm thinking of where I was really concerned as we came down the map. Um, but I think this SS motorized, now CJ, I believe it was CJ, said where we should try to do our encirclement would be out here by Vilnius. This little area right here, they would have to, and he brought up a good point, they're going to have to retreat through heavy woods here, some light woods here. I do think this would be a nice place to get it, try to get a little encirclement. I mean, in some far off fantasy world, I guess we could try to push out here to the river, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe we would just stay here, but at least push the line forward a little bit. Maybe help out the Hungarians. And so, we'd be doing swamp duty again. One little encirclement here, one little encirclement there. I kind of like that idea. Although I think when he brings the attacks, it's probably going to be in this area pushing towards Riga. That's certainly what I would do if I was playing as the Soviet player here because it accomplishes so much, right? If you're pushing towards Riga here, you threaten to completely cut off all of Army Group North, or at least 75% of it, and you're only about 10 hexes away from the sea. So well, the Gulf of Riga, but you're about 10 hexes away, and again, that would cover, that would basically win the Soviets the game. They would take Tallinn, Pskov, eventually Riga, and cut off, who knows how many units here. That's one of the reasons I brought the Panzer SS into this area. Panzer, yeah, is that a Panzer division? Is that considered a Panzer division? I mean, corps? No, it's Panzergrenadier. Hold on. What am I talking about? Yes, SS Panzer Corps. I thought it was a Panzer Corps. I'm confusing myself now. So I think that motorized I may also bring up here. I want most of my best units here because that's where I would expect an attack. But if we are going to try to run a little encirclement here, it may make sense to put it in this area under von Manstein. He's only got 8 of 10. So I think I will bring this up there. Where was that? Lublin? Lublin. Let's do that for now. So I'm going to put that on the rail and put it up. I mean, we're kind of weak in this area, but let's put it, I don't know, we'll just bring it directly into Kaunas for now. We'll put it under von Manstein so we know that's the 56th. It's Latvian motorized. We should probably put it up in Latvia, but They don't restrict us, so let's do what we think's best. 56 Panzer Corps on you go. Get off the train if you can. Nope, he needed 66. He's got 60. That's fine. We'll take him off the train next time. And that'll give von Manstein a little bit more to work with. And we can always take von Manstein's whole group, the 56th, and move it up here if Riga, really comes under pressure. All right, all of this stuff though, I'm going to take south, and I think I am going to put it kind of in this area I'm most worried about, which is kind of in this area. Now we've got kind of a staggered line. We've got Romanian troops back here. Kind of worried about that. That's only a why is that only a 9? Oh, that's not very good. As a matter of fact, that really invites attack. I'm tempted to take this Panzer Corps or division and move it up one just for a turn, and then we can bring in another division. Actually, I'm going to do that. He's going to retreat a little bit, but now that takes that to a 45. I just did want to invite an attack there. Um, okay, so we know one guy then will go kind of in that area, and then we'll get that Panzer division back off the line. If I can find it again. 1454, I think it was right here. Let's just set it on top of these commands. So we'll put that in there. Just making sure we didn't have anything to deal with there. 52nd ID, maybe bring, that's a 21. That's not great. I guess I could move this Panzer division forward too, but I'm not as worried. This is a lot of strength the Soviets have right in this area. Let's just bring him in here. So we'll put another division in there, and then let's take the motorized. He can eventually go into 1st Panzer. Maybe in, let's see, where along here would I like him? That's only a 26, but that's okay. Here's a lot of open space along this way. Maybe bring him in here. Good enough. Good enough. All right. You guys yelling at me to move anything else? Yeah, I am a swamp commander. If it was a game where you got like those, you got special abilities, some guys are rangers, they're better fighting in the woods or something like that, we would definitely be swamp rats. So, yes, we do our best work in the swamps. I don't know what that says about us. Um, I say us because I like to include you in my successes and defeats. Uh, okay, I think we're good. Let's turn the turd. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I was going to do the depots. The only thing that really changes whenever I have the AI do the depots is they don't set up Constanta to Sevastopol the way I would like. What I'm going to do, actually, we'll do it manually. We're going to look at all the depot situation this time as we go down the map. All right, we're off. Let's see if he actually starts attacking this time. I mean, they certainly are in a position they should be attacking. I mean, if we were playing on the Soviet side, we would just be constantly putting pressure on. I mean, that's how you play the Soviets, right? I mean, for the most part. But just push, 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 because he's got us outnumbered, 2-1, and it's more than that with guns and AFVs. He may as well throw it all in there, but the AI is not. I don't know. What's everybody up to on this 3-day weekend? Now, I will not be streaming early tomorrow. I may do it in the afternoon. I'll have to wait and see. We are taking a baby class tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. And I look over at my wife. I'm like, is that true? She says, yes, it's true. Where I learn all about little baby for the first 3 months of its life and all the things I'm supposed to do because I have not taught a tutorial on that one. I've no experience on that one. FM, what's up? Francis Marion. That sounds like a very important name. Hey, Bill. What's going on? Are you already leaving? I'm in my heart. I'm glad that you got into this game. That's the whole purpose of the channel. I just want people to enjoy this game. this than others, but obviously this is the main game we play here, or it has been at least. The channel's what, like 15 or 16 months old. I think this game is far and away we've made the most videos of. We got a tutorial, a quick start tutorial, an air tutorial, 293 episodes of this Let's Play. We've done a lot on this game. And still learning things every turn, which is why it's a great game. One of the many reasons it's a great game. All right, come on, AI, let's go. Give me your best. Here comes the Soviet air. If it's raining, we're still not going to move our air assets back on the map. We've got so few of them. He hasn't been hurting us in the air yet. You can see he runs 180 sorties and takes 63 losses. So our fighters are still getting up and at least keeping him from running amok. It's kind of hard to tell in this game. I guess if I really studied the production screen, I don't know how much of an effect bombing our cities would have. Now, he's not doing it to any sustained degree, so I doubt it's having much of any effect. But as we play the Soviets, I'd like to know how much, if we're bombing deep into Germany, deep into Poland, at some of the production centers, how much that would really affect German production, because he's got such air superiority over us right now that he can kind of do whatever he wants, or at least he's got enough airplanes. It doesn't matter if he loses them. So, when we play the Soviet side, I guess I'd like to have a sense, and there's probably a thread on it in the Matrix forum. I'll have to go check it out. But I'd like to know, once you get into 1943, if we're fortunate enough to get there when we play on the Soviet side, um, how much you can disrupt the German war machine through bombing production centers. Of course, I just have zero idea. The AI is kind of half-heartedly trying to hit our production centers. It bombs a few cities here and there, but it's not sustained enough, I don't think, to run some kind of test on it and say, oh my gosh, we're getting, that's why we're not getting the artillery we need, or the AA. I think that's mainly just a function of the game, those things. But I'd love to know that, whether you can actually completely grind the German production to a halt through bombing. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys know. Maybe you've read. That's something we're gonna have to figure out, though, as we switch over to the Soviet side. Obviously, playing on the Axis side, it's not really a consideration. I mean, we don't have enough planes to do that. Now, maybe last year we did to some degree, but you're kind of throwing rocks into a big pond if you're bombing from the German side. The Soviets just have so much production that you could destroy the innumerable number of plants, and it's not going to matter. But I don't know. Maybe Nord, maybe you've gotten that far. Maybe maybe you've read, or one of you other students of the game. All right. The AI decided not to attack. It's all rain. You can see the rain out here. Double raindrops falling on my head. And we are now May 23rd, 1943, Dateline, Europe. Turn 101 of this game. Can you believe it? The most important thing right down here, sudden victory, 575 for the Soviets. They currently have 526 points. This will go up to 600 points on turn 107, and we're at turn 101. I would assume the Soviets will start attacking soon. If I'm just thinking of how they would program the algorithm, the algorithm's going to say, well, we got to get to 575. Let's start attacking. They've got to get there in 6 turns. I think we can stop them from doing that. We'll see. Dateline. I'd just like to do that. RFA. RFA. RAF raids 1943. They're targeting our manpower. Again, there's just nothing we can do about it. That's a really cool picture, though, as you see those tracers going. Wow, that's cool. Italian campaign. Wow, the Italian campaign not going well for the Axis. Shortage of Axis ground forces in Italy leads to a setback. Now, we didn't lose any victory points or AP, so that's good. Okay, Soviet partisans, yep, they're still out here. The Hedgehog and the U-954. I'll let you read that when you play it. I'm not going to, it doesn't really matter that much for our purposes. It's just an interesting historical fact. Okay, what's coming on the map? What's going off? We get a lot of things back on the map, including, well, that's a Panzerjäger battalion. I got excited for a second. These things in at 171, 170, that's coming in at Warsaw. So those are rebuilt units. 166, 151 are actually new things. Those are showing up either at OKH or out by Berlin. 176, 165. Oh, it's our heavy panzer battalions now in. Nice. We can get the big. Are those tigers or panthers? They're probably panthers, huh? I guess we could look. Tigers, tiger. Well, of course, tigers. We have 18 of them in there, the big boys. Also, the Panzer 4Fs. That's an awesome tank. 22 of those ready in that group. So 40 total tanks. Look, we'll wait until we decide where our offensive, our limited envelopment's going to occur. We'll throw those into one of the Panzer divisions to add some firepower. Other than that, did we lose much? Again, I wish this said from map for things we put back into the reserves. I'm almost certain they fixed that in the newest, um, or they should have. If not, like I said, I'm going to write them a note. Okay, let's look down here. We lost 5,700 men last time. 19 guns, no AFVs or planes. Okay, cool. We gained 80,000 men on the map. For the first time, we brought a lot of things out of the reserves, but for the first time, we actually outkicked the Soviets for a turn. 824 guns. Well, we're never going to match them there. 52 AFVs. We're probably never going to match them there. The Soviets are bringing a lot of aircraft onto the map. This is like 2 or 3 turns in a row that they brought a good number of aircraft back. Our logistics look pretty good, or they have looked pretty good, but we will look at our depots as we go down the map. Here's our supply alerts. Nothing in the north, the far north anyway. We've got a few supply, they're only yellow, which means they're below what, 65%? No, below 75%. I mean, we've got 34 units below 75%, but nothing under 50, which is really where you get concerned. It's easy for a turn for a unit to maybe dip below 75% for a turn. If it becomes persistent, you got a depot problem, but these Hungarians out in the middle of the swamp, they've had some supply problems, but you could see the things around them. Some of them are getting enough supply. It's just hard to build there's no good place to build a depot over here anyway. It has to come out from here, and so it's causing a little bit of a problem. As we go down south, this is all looking pretty good for the most part. I mean, the new units coming in just are coming in without full supply, all on the train, but everything else looks good except for right out here by Odessa. So I don't know. We'll look at that when we get to the south and see if there's some other place we could put a depot that'll kind of alleviate this. I don't think there really is. I think it's a problem of the trucks have to go over the river. We're right next to the Soviets. There's a few problems out here, but it's not a critical problem. Strength alerts. Okay, we've got orange there. We've got orange here. That's that Luftwaffe field division that I just put up here for a turn. This is the division I pulled off the line. Oh, that's a Luftwaffe field division too, I think. Got a few yellows, no biggie there. That means they're under 65%, but they're not under, well, I think it shifts to orange if they're under 50. I think. I could be wrong about that one. But yellow is just telling us, these are things to be looking out for. This group here in the mint green, we need to get one of these new divisions. Look at all of that coming on the map. God, that's beautiful. Nothing back by Berlin. So these are all out of the reserves rebuilt units. It's right here. Now, a few, the motorized is a little light, but it's mainly this core right here that's really light. We need to get something new in there, get something back to the reserves, much to Kalo's chagrin. No, I'm not. I'll stop joking about it. You made a fair point. We've got an orange right there. I think that may be a Luftwaffe Field Division 2. We'll have to check that out. Um, this is just a fortified zone. That's no biggie there. Okay, cool. Let's go look at our info screens. We've got order of battle 2.552. We actually went up for a turn. Imagine that. We've got 344,000 back in the reserves, though. So that takes us to 2.8. We add in the Soviets. We go up to about 3. Or the Soviets. Our allies. We go up to about 3.7 or 3.8. The Soviets are at 6.2. Okay, it is what it is. What can I say? They've got us way outnumbered. 3.3 million men, essentially 10.2 for the Soviet losses. 53,000 guns. This has stayed very consistent, 3-1, and this has stayed very consistent at about 5-1. We've talked about that ad nauseum. Production screen, okay, again, I need to dig deeper into the screen for this game. Maybe I'll go back and make a video about it just so I learn all about it. But I usually just kind of click off this. I know it makes some people mad. Victory points. Soviets, since they took over the initiative, they've gotten up to 526. But basically, since December, we've given up one town since December that was worth 10 points plus a bonus. Let's go to manpower losses. You can see, not a whole lot going on here in the springtime in the rain. We're knocking out some guns, but not nearly enough. AFVs, nobody's really losing any. Aircraft, he keeps just throwing aircraft against a wall. I'm not sure if the AI is really accomplishing anything by that, but they're doing it. Mapmen, woo! All right, see ya. See you later, Soviets. Uh, he just look at that when we almost got to parity last summer. Look at that. Holy cow. Map guns. Well, that's going up. Uh, just a slight little break to go parabolic and then back to its normal course. AFV is totally parabolic. Map aircraft parabolic. I just evidently like to say parabolic. Let's check out the weather. Okay, it's light mud through most of the map. You can see the little speckles. Maybe you can, I don't know. It's hard for me to see, but it's speckly brown out here. In the north, up by Narva, Leningrad, it is completely muddy. Okay, weather in the air. Yep, it's raining at the start of the turn, certainly all over the playable map. By the end of the turn, it's still raining. All right, we've got at least 2 more turns then of that rain cover. I like it. Hey, what's up, Tony? How you doing? Uh, yeah, excellent, excellent to have that rain. That's gonna, this turn we're fine. It looks like it's gonna rain next turn. So I mean, all the way into June. Now, if we were on the offensive, I'd be really bitter about this right now, but we're not. So I'm not. Great weather. Let's go to the reserves and see what we have happening. Whoa! Did I see an Italian unit? The Italians are back. All right. It's just a motorized Basaye. I don't even know what that means. I've never heard that word before. Well, of course, I don't speak Italian either, but Basaye. Basaye. Oh, it's something like I got to say it like Italian and not French. Um, 22nd Panzer only got to 79% this time. 21st Panzer's at 82. The Heavy Panzer Battalion did get to 100. Let's turn that onto the map. That'll go to OKH, and we can dish that out for our offensive into some Panzer Division. It's a support unit. Now, I'm not sure. I should have looked. Is that one that I'm just wondering, in this game, in the second game, they have these kind of multi-faceted units that you can either use you can put them down as a counter on the map, or you can attach them to something like a support unit. I don't know if those Panzer battalions are like that. The heavy ones, 29, 38, 30. None of this is great. 21st Panzer, what are we missing? Let's look at the TOE. We're missing some recon tanks. We've got the CS tanks here at 100% and the medium tanks at 94%. Okay, so what we're really missing is flak, artillery, and some recon tanks. We're just not making flak and artillery anymore, so there's not a whole lot we can do about that. Yeah, I want you back. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't on refit. Let's turn you back onto the map then, 21st Panzer. And then we'll look at the same for 22nd Panzer. Make sure those are kind of, we've only got one recon tank. I guess we're not really cranking those out. AT guns, we've actually got some in here, but it's flak. We are just not making flak guns. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. We're just not. I mean, okay, maybe those are the factories he bombed. I don't know. I've got to look at that air power and how that works. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the map. Um, let's turn the refit off. Mainly, I'm looking to just see if we've got the big tanks or the medium-sized tanks available. To the extent they are, I'm putting the Panzer divisions back on the map because I don't think we're making any flak or not very many AT guns, not very much artillery anymore. So, okay. The motorized division, what are we missing here in 36th? It's AT guns. AT guns, flak, so, I mean, this is vastly rebuilt, but it just, we're not making those things. So it's back to the map you go. So that's 3 motorized units that are going to come back to the map. I do think I'll take something like 12th Panzer. Is that the one that's in best shape? It is. Let's turn the refit on there. 28, 24. Okay, we'll get back to that. These guys are running at 86, 85. Again, I'm almost certain it's the flak and the AT guns we're missing. Infantry gun, artillery. Yep, it's the guns. Well, okay. That's our lot in life at this point. Let's turn refit off. Let's get that back on the map. I really like this reserve system. I think this is just the best reserve system in a game I've ever seen. 24th Infantry, it's once you're used to it, it's just so simple to figure out. It's just very well designed. 24, oh, that's at 45%. I was thinking maybe we'll rebuild this one. 45 is pretty high. I like to let them sit back here a couple of turns when they come back. We'll figure out in a minute which ones we want to refit. So this is going to come back to the map. I don't think we're ever going to get over 86. Now, Nord has talked extensively about lowering TOEs, things like that. I think just by operation of the game, they lower automatically. But us setting them at a lower level, we can also do that. But I don't want to do that, and the reason I don't is because it takes everything down to 90%. Let's just say we set it at 90%. Well, some things we're still producing that we can get to 100%. It's all the flak and the AA that's making the general TOE look like it's at 86 or 88 or 85. Um, and so that's one of the reasons I'm not doing that. But it is certainly a valid idea. All right, refit off, map, cool. How many more of these buggers do I have? 23. Well, I guess that's it. I wish I had more. This infantry battalion, let's turn that onto the map. Does that go to OKH? That might be one of those that's, not sure what that is. 69th is back here. Let's put that on refit. Now we're really starting to get this churning because we don't have too many more units to put back here. Whoops, no, that's not what I wanted. We don't have too many more units to move back here. So now we're going to start churning them out. That's 3. And we're going to get down to where we've only got like 5 or 6 divisions by the time the rain clears back here in the reserves, or at least that's my hope. Refit on. I'm doing 5 at a time. 34, that's fine. Refit on. That's good, I think, for this time. So if we do 5 this time, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. times 4, that's 36. We've got 37 divisions back here, but I won't count the French. They don't count. We've got 36. So if I do 5 over the next 2 turns, I guess, well, we'd have more than that. So maybe I do need to do 6 or 7, or at least try to do 6 or 7 each time, so that by the time the rain clears, we're in pretty dang decent shape. Let's turn that on. All right, so that's 6. Let's try 6. I don't know. That would be, 6 turns before we got them all out, or close to all of them out. That's fine. Okay, let's try that. If we've got, 10 or 15 of them still sitting back here, we'll just keep trying to get them on the map. This heavy flak battalion actually did get some stuff. Let's turn that off, and we'll put that back on the map. Yes. All right. This Werfer battalion's got some stuff. Imagine that. We got some Werfers. Let's put that back out. Refit on, refit off, map. Yes. Got to go back and get that other. Oh, we actually got a third Werfer. Let's turn you onto the map. Those will go to OKH. Rocket units. I love the guys that work in the rocket units. I always think about those videos from World War II in color when the Katyusha rockets fire off. My God, that scares me sitting in my living room. I can't imagine seeing that on a battlefield. Engineer units. Might as well send that out there. None of the guns are rebuilding. This did get up to a 52. Whoop-de-doo. I'll keep that on refit. I think that's all good. Okay, so out of the reserves we go. And let's go back up to the Narva line. I don't think there's anything to do here. Did this unit get any men? No, as a matter of fact, it lost men. It's down to 9741. It retreated a little bit. Let's turn on the defensiveness. 3230, 5469. Okay. We're going to get an attack here at some point in the summer, but what's he got? So he's got that. Now I could send him back to the reserves. We've got 13,000 men, 14, 10, 16. I don't love that 10, but he's in the one of the most defensible area, or the most defensible area on this line. Um, oh hell, while it's rain, oh, I got to go through the air. Whoops. Okay, execute air directives. We don't have any. Milo or Milo, whichever. War in the Pacific. I'm going to try to make an episode later today. I'm going to go through China, kind of counter by counter. Uh, Man, that game, there's so much going on the map. I'm trying to do the new turn because Lodric and I are about a month ahead of what you guys are seeing. I'm trying to do the new turn today. There's been a carrier hit by a submarine, let's say, without too much spoiler, and it is just taken me a long time to figure out what to do. Okay, we're through the air. Now then, we're in the ground move phase. Let's go back to the rail here. He's in pretty good shape, but I'm going to go ahead and send him back to the reserves for 1 turn. Turn him right back out and send him right back up here, because now we've got a couple of turns before they're going to attack up here, or they could attack up here. So we're going to do that. We're still sitting here with... I probably should just make these guys... I've got him on static, but I probably should set this as static as well. But I'm not going to, just in case there's a breakthrough and we got to deal with it. Here is a brand new division. Finally! 86th ID needs to get out of here. Needs to get out of here, I say. He can go there with 11 movement. Let's make sure this guy can get off the train and get here. All right, definitely want to get this division in here. This has been keeping me up at night. Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but it has had me worried. Okay, so he goes in there, and then the 6,600 comes out. Now, I said we could get them all out of the reserves in 6 turns, but now I'm putting things back in there. I think those are the only two up north that are going back to the reserves. But now we've got a brand new division out here. Excellent. 82nd ID. He needs to go into 42nd Corps. Okay, not a problem. Let's put you in 42nd Corps. Perfect. All right, cool. I don't think, let's turn on the depots. I mean, our depot situation here is about as good as it can get. As long as the Finns keep getting food and bullets, can't do better than that. Now, it's not coming all the way into the Pskov depot, but we've got a depot here, which is within 2, so the horsies can pull it. So we're not wasting trucks. Now, this only bumped to a 35, but it will go up as we get combat prep points into this new division. This one may be able to come off the line because this division's very strong and new. It's strong and new. Sounded like an Arid Extra Dry commercial. We've got this infantry here that probably could move, needs to move, but it's fine. Bulk sits here in 57th. All of this is going to stay the same. I want to get this Panzer division off the line, so we probably should take one of the divisions down here and take it north. One of the rebuilt divisions. Fine. Let's just take this one. I'm not going to sit here and scratch my head over it too much. And that if we get this up here and get it into this hex, we can take the Panzer division off. So I'm going to bring him in right there. All right. Excellent. And when that comes out, I guess it would still need to be under bulk. But he's only got 8 of 10. Perfect. So I can keep the Panzer division. I'll probably set that Panzer division here right on the road. And then we've just got really nice coverage all the way up and down. This is probably the most vulnerable spot on the line here and here. Yeah, they are rebuilt divisions, but they're all on their lonesome. Now, luckily, we've got this Panzer Grenadier division right behind. I don't think there's much to do up here. I mean, we've gone over this so many times. I do want to get this off the line, though. Didn't I? I thought I brought in a division. No, it was this Panzer Grenadier. I want to get the Panzer Grenadier off the line. So let's go grab another division. It's on the train. And let's bring it in right here, right behind it. It can take that spot on the line next time, and we'll get that off the line. Okay, moving down here, we've got a Luftwaffe Field Division. All of these look good. I mean, we've gone over these commands so many times. They better be good. If they're not, then I'm just an idiot. Which is possible. I mean, maybe both are possible. 8th, 42nd Unederland, that's all good. I think, I honestly think we could almost turn a turn again, but I think I'm going to call this an episode. We're at 53 minutes or so. The Crimea is getting dry. I will look at that, Milo or Milo. And welcome, by the way, your new name to me. I will look at that tomorrow, whether I put up an episode or I live stream. If I live stream, it'll probably be in the afternoon, my time. So in Europe, obviously getting a little late. On the East Coast, even dinner time, something like that. But I'm going to try to. But either way, we will be streaming on Easter Sunday. So that'll be I'll try to do the usual time at 10 a.m. It may slip to 11. It depends how lazy I'm feeling. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. As always, thanks for all the great comments and the conversation. Oh, that's right, Anthony. Yes, you want me to get Viking back because yes, it's got a lot of manpower, but it doesn't have a lot of the or motorized units in it. I did read your comment about that, and I will take that under advisement. Actually, we'll probably do that just because I want to take your advice sometimes. So I'll remind me tomorrow or Sunday, whichever time you see me next. Thanks, guys. You're a great general staff. Hey, Paul, what's going on? I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Have a good